We really wanted to talk about not trying to shift the shift in order to make it better. So, for a lot of you who are healers, even coaches, you like to do EFT, you like to, I don't know, process things with energy. This is something that I used to do. Anytime I felt unstable, uneasy, the downloads were coming in, I felt wonky. Um, I would sit down and shift the shift with more shift. Right? You would sit there and you'd think about it and you look at it and it'll feel good and you focus your attention on there. And then you try to shift it. And we're here to tell you today to, give it a rest. Take a time out, because here's the deal. When you try to shift your shift, you're putting your focus and your attention on all the negativity that you're feeling, and you're creating more of it. It doesn't allow for the release. It's kind of like a resistance to the shift that you're already experiencing. So you're having a shift, the downloads are coming in. Yeah, it's playing a little havoc with your energy. And we want to feel better, and what you're doing is you're focusing all of your attention on what doesn't feel good and how to make it feel better, and you're like tapping it out and like, oh my gosh, and pulling your hair out. And what you'll notice is it doesn't work, right? Really what you're doing is you're creating resistance to what is, right? So you're in this moment of what is, and that's the shift. And when you create resistance to the moment of what is, then you create more resistance, and more resistance equals blocked energy, stuck energy, and lack of flow. Allow it to come through, because if you allow it and you accept it, it comes through, it rides through your energy, then it flows right out. When you try to shift the shift, right, you have all the shift coming in. The more you try to, the more you're not in acceptance of where you are in the shift, the more you try to fight against it, the more you try to push against it, the more you try to fix it, heal it, work it, actually creates resistant energy. It actually creates not a block, but it just creates kind of like a stuck energy. It's like, riding on a treadmill. Your treadmill wants to take you in one direction and you keep walking. Well, if you keep walking on a treadmill, you're in exactly the same place, right? Nothing shifts, because the shift is moving you in one direction and you're moving in the other by trying to fix it, trying to shift it. So today is the only time we'll ever say this. But today we're inviting you, and over the next couple of days, to not walk on the treadmill, so to speak, in the way in which you've been taught, but to actually stand still and allow it to fly you across the room. Because once you release resistance, and if you've ever ridden a treadmill and accidentally stopped for a moment, once you release the resistance, that flow of the treadmill will skyrocket you across the room. And it's the exact same thing with shift. Once you stop the resistance and stop walking against it, you stand still, and that shift will skyrocket you across the universe. So